So I'm going to have the chat open for questions today. Super, super excited about this one today, especially because this is going to be our last one of these before Christmas. I wanted to make sure to set everybody up really, really well before we actually get into the holiday season, especially if you guys are planning on scaling TikTok Shop in any meaningful sort of way for 2026. And yeah, I'm just really, really excited to dive into that. I've got a big presentation for us today to get through, so super, super excited about that as well. I'm going to be going through the momentum strategy, which is something that some of my team members have put together, has been really, really transformational in the way that we have done things, and hopefully a new way of showing exactly what we are doing at Social Commerce Club to really help you guys. So I can see people coming on here. I'm going to be taking questions. I'm going to leave the last 20 minutes for questions. We'll see what we get through exactly, and then we will go from there. Thanks everyone for joining. I know this was a little bit strange today. I'm going to have to figure out what was going on with Riverside. But here we are. Awesome. So today we are going to be talking about the momentum strategy on TikTok Shop. This is something at Social Commerce Club that we have been using and has been working incredibly well. So here is exactly what we are going to be talking about today. Again, I would say that most brands that we see, and we see a ton of brands, just so you guys know, at Social Commerce Club, we are seeing like just the best of the best out there in D2C that come to us and are like, what do we do? I don't even understand the muscle. I'm sure you guys have seen people posting about this. I even saw recently like Sean at Ridge just talking about like, I don't understand this muscle of TikTok Shop. And I 100% get it. And what I'm trying to do today is help you guys understand what exactly is this muscle, right? How do we exercise this muscle? How do we build this muscle so it's a repeatable system? Now, we've been doing this at Social Commerce Club for quite a while, and we've continually been building up this repeatable system. And that's the really, really great thing. So again, what I see a lot is just posting and praying, right? Sending out a ton of samples. When I hear people's strategy, it's like, I'm going to send out 1,000 samples on TikTok Shop, and I'm going to really hope that these somehow hit, right? And totally, like, I think that you can do a lot. You can do a lot by getting just a mass amount of volume. But the problem is when it's not orchestrated together and it's not in moments, that is where we really run into big issues. And so that's what I want to go through today. Again, for those of you guys who are live on Riverside right now, some of you guys are going to be watching this on YouTube later, but for those of you guys who are live on Riverside, please make sure to put your questions in the side. If they're relevant as I'm going through different slides, that is when I will answer the question. And if not, I am going to have the last 20 minutes for your burning questions. I know a lot of you guys have been sending me questions recently, and I wanted to wait until this so that everybody could possibly hear for that. So thanks again to everyone who waded through all of my technical issues here this morning. That was great. So awesome. James, great to have you out here. Yes, we are live. We are actually live, folks. So looking forward to getting into it. So really, the new way that I want to talk about today, and I got this from Cam, who runs our social commerce department at Social Commerce Club and our whole TikTok Shop site. It's really about engineering moments. We do this with brands on D2C as well. I grew up, all of the brands that I had, Q&A is going to be the last 20 minutes, so just so you guys know. So throw your questions in here. We're going to be doing Q&A. It should be really, really fun. I'm a little frustrated with all the tech here, but I'm trying to stay professional. So the new way is engineering moments. So we have creators, we have content, we have offers that really bring us into what this moment is. And then we have signal that leads to scale. And we've seen this happen time and time again with brands. We've done this with a lot of brands over the last year and a half or so. And really it comes down to systemic signal testing. I'm going to go through a few things that I haven't really even talked about online whatsoever on LinkedIn or Twitter or anything like that. So hopefully that will help you guys a lot today. So let's get into what this actually looks like to engineer momentum. So momentum happens when TikTok receives one clear signal inside of a tight time window. So creators plus content plus inventory plus messaging all pushing the same product and angle at the same time. We've called this the blitz methodology in the past. But today, what I'm really trying to talk about and trying to help you guys understand is that this is not just a one-off blitz. People are like, okay, so what do you do after the blitz? And I was like, well, this is where the momentum strategy actually happens, right? Your job is to stop just posting and start running moments. And for everybody who's watching this, whether you're an Amazon brand, Amazon first brand, D2C first brand, or TikTok shop first brand, this is going to be very, very important to understand and trying to put this all together in this moment. The big brands do it very, very well, and they understand this moment marketing. The problem for a lot of D2C brands is you've grown up on Facebook ads, right? And so you've had this like Facebook ads mentality where it's just like, I'm just going to kind of throw things out there. Now, for me, one of the great things that I have had over the years is running apparel brands. And apparel brands is all about moment marketing. It's all about drops, right? Our goal was to drop something new every single week so that we had these moments. And so apparel brands really understand this versus brands that are, maybe a 1 or 2 SKU product. Now, don't worry, for those of you guys who are a 1 or 2 SKU product, this is really, really important for you. Now, somebody asked me this question before, and I want to make sure to answer this now before we kind of get into it. Who is a good fit for TikTok Shop? Now, before I probably would have said like, oh, okay, like brands, if you've got something to sell that's, minimum, like below $100, if it is easily explainable. As of right now, honestly, I would say any brand can go onto TikTok Shop. Now, the reason being is that it just is going to be a little bit different for the big brands that are out there. And we have some like really high AOV brands coming to us. So sorry, when I say big brands, I mean high AOV brands. When high AOV brands come to us, the new way that I really look at this is high AOV brands really need to rely on live shopping, right? And live shopping is where you can really start to sell these bigger high AOV products. I see TikTok Shop in 2026 really making, and if you see the growth of TikTok Shop, right? People are like, so somebody posted about this the other day, and it's just such an asinine comment because they don't understand what an exponential curve looks like. And that's what we're on right now with TikTok Shop. The comment is like, oh yeah, well, TikTok Shop is still only this little tiny percentage comparatively to Shopify. It's like, oh, absolutely. But it's on this trajectory that's never been seen before. We've never seen it with Shopify. We've never seen it with Amazon, right? Those were some pretty steep trajectories. Right now in TikTok Shop, we're on this insane trajectory. So what we see coming down the pipe right now is that bigger brands are going to actually be high AOV brands are going to actually be able to scale on the platform. Now, with a high AOV brand, you can't just go and send out 1,000 samples, right? It just doesn't work, right? The math does not work. So instead, what we need to do is we need to rely on fewer higher quality affiliates running those kinds of moments and really relying on them as being more part of your team rather than one-off affiliates and going live a lot, right? And so that's sort of a bit of the strategy there. Somebody was asking about it. I wanted to make sure to throw that strategy out there. If that's something that you guys are interested in and you're like, I just need someone to run it, get a hold of our team at Social Commerce Club. This is what we do all day long again. So, all right. So the momentum system, and the reason why we call it the momentum system is, again, it's the moment, right? That's the big thing about all of this is really around these moments, this moment marketing. So the strategy, really the brief at the end of the day is going to be part of this absolute moment. So define the goal, the product, and the plan before you act. This is the control panel, right? My old mentor, Peter, he used to always say this phrase. He was South African. I can't do a South African accent, just so everyone knows. But he would always just say this, like, Jordan, it's all in the setup. It's all in the setup. And it's such a simple phrase, and yet so profound, right? So profound when you really understand, like, oh yeah, this is the setup moment. And so the strategy, this brief is really, really important in understanding what this moment exactly is going to be. So we have the moment type, and we're going to get into the moment type. We're going to get into product selection, and then we're going to get into the moment brief. Then we go to execution. Right. And that's really where we're going to start stacking these different moments. And I'm really, really excited to do that. We're going to talk about creator activation, the angle matrix, the PDP prep, and then we're going to talk about optimization, the cadence, the 30-day cadence, the asset bank, and the post-mortem of really figuring that out. Now, it's actually really interesting at Social Commerce Club right now. We're kind of doing a bit of a re-look at our values. And one of the things that I really, really believe in for values for employees that we have, and I really think it's important for everyone out there, is this idea of low ego. And the idea with low ego is like, it's not like this, like, oh, I'm just so humble. I'm just such a humble person. Like that's not it at all. I don't think that's the kind of low ego that I'm talking about. Low ego allows for learning, right? It allows like, oh, well, maybe I was wrong here. Okay, let's try that again. I don't know if you guys see how many friggin' times that I am like, okay, that was something we were trying. No, now we're going to try this. Now we're going to try this. If you do not have the flywheel of a post-mortem, it is not going to work for you. So T asks, can you give us an example of the page brief that you send the samples to creators, please? This is something I will try actually to put that out just like as a sort of like giveaway to the email list. So if you're not on the email list, absolutely, that's such a good idea. The whole idea here, I'll give you like just a sort of brief overview of like what this should look like. So 1 page max, right? You want to make sure it's 1 page max. You want to say what you are trying to do, the dates that you're trying to do it, the lines that have worked or the lines that you really want them to focus on, some hook types that have actually worked before in the past, and the amount of ad spend that you are going to put behind these particular moments or blitzes, right? Like that's the really important part. So just so you guys know, Sam asks, you're working on a class to optimize live selling. So I'm going absolutely all in on live selling. We're actually right now in the background, working on a joint venture, with a massive facility for live selling. So yes, absolutely. Classes on live selling will be in there. If you guys are in the school group, you guys will get access to that first. We're also, just so everyone kind of understands as well, I am going to be opening up one thing that like tons of brands have asked for is, so to be totally honest, like Social Commerce Club, we're sort of working out like a little bit more of the high end. Like most of the brands they're working with are kind of like $50 million plus. What I'm really trying to figure out is how we, Parker and I, and Parker's the CEO at Social Commerce Club, now reports to me. We're trying to figure out how we get to serve and how we can help serve brands that are new on the platform in a little bit more of a way, sort of in between like what the school group is and in between a full service agency. And so that's something, just so you guys know, a heads up, something that we're going to be launching for brands and agencies. And so really looking forward to that. Just because I think that it's something that's really, really needed. Nothing that I have details on yet. If that's something that you guys are interested in, if you're like, hey, I would love to join a group like that where, you know, you get access to Parker and I once every couple of weeks, all of that kind of stuff, let me know if that's something that you're interested in. If we're going to be holding it to 10 brands maximum. So just so everyone understands. So awesome. So here is the strategy. So it all starts with a single focused choice, right? Pick your moment type. Oh, good. Great to see all the yeses. Oh yes, love Parker. Yeah, love that comment there too. I love Parker too. One of my best buds now. So it starts with a single focused choice. So pick your moment type, and please do not skip this. Now, I've got 5 different moments here. Honestly, there are so many potential different moments that you can have, which is really, really cool. And creating these moments is really, really important. And this is why I love to study bigger brands, because they really understand this moment marketing. Now, for a lot of you guys, you'll be like, oh, I do moment marketing. And the problem is the moment marketing that you have is usually based around a discount or something like that. That is not what I'm talking about. And it's not something that I think is actually that valuable, right? Is being around, like a lot of people would say, like, oh, BFCM is my moment, right? Well, not exactly. It could be your moment. I just don't think it's a great moment, to be like super frank. Let's talk about a content blitz. So use this when you need signal to find the winning angle. So this should be your default. So we do content blitzes all the time. The idea is that we're reaching out to our affiliates. We're also doing our own brand content blitzes. So you'll see me do this actually quite often at SEC in a sort of meta kind of way. When we're trying to launch something, we will just content, talk about it, and blitz within this certain area to get people really, really excited about it. What it does is it creates the momentum, right? What you're trying to constantly do, and this is actually a law of like leadership. So for any like bigger brands out there, or, you know, if you have big team members, we, you know, at SEC right now, our team is a little bit more than 50, growing really, really fast. And for us, there's this law. There's this leadership law, and it's a law of momentum, right? And momentum, you just want to keep going and going and going, and it works the exact same way. This law works for everything that you are doing. And so A content blitz is one of those ways that you can do that. And so the idea with a content blitz, right, is that you are just trying to get your creators to post as much content as humanly possible. If you guys have been on any of these calls before, you'll know I talk about content blitzes all the time. The idea with it, number one, if you get a really good stable of creators, I almost said influencers, yikes. If you get a really good stable of creators that you have put a lot of samples out to, and you've got really good rapport with them, the cool thing is, right, that they then will be able to constantly post during this time if you take care of them really well. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Creators are really difficult to work with. They are divas. They're absolute divas, and you need to be okay with that. It is just the way that they are. They are not business people, right? So when you're working with creators, don't get frustrated. One of the best pieces of advice that I've had is just always taking a breath before I respond. I do obviously social stuff for a lot of things, and I get a lot of comments that are just like, you idiot. And that's all I want to respond with. Don't do that. Don't do that with creators. With creators, just take a breath. Remember, right, that they are running a little business of their own, right? And that they're trying to do that. Make sure that you're really kind with them. This is a bit of a bonus advice for you guys. Now, we've also got the restock moment, which is big. So when you have signal and you need scale, run an it's back event, right? If you do not, now a lot of times people will sell out. I don't recommend selling out. I don't think that it's great, but if you do sell out, make sure that you're doing that. Again, you could, if you can't discount, win via bundles, right? That's another great moment that you can do where you can actually pair this specifically with TikTok Shop. I just want to go down here to Saeem's comment here. Literally, I've got creators give death threats for not giving them retainers. Yes. You will get that kind of stuff. Creators are crazy. I'm just gonna like the majority of creators out there are very, and that's what makes them so good. Right? It actually makes them so good. So like, I love flipping these things, saying where it's like, yeah, okay, you've got someone that insane, right? That's willing to do that. A lot of them are in a big mood because the problem is for them, they're on a constant hamster wheel, right? They're like, oh, am I going to make money? Am I going to make money? And every single post they think about versus a lot of us who have been in business for a long time. No, like I remember my very first business was a restaurant. And every single day I would check those sales. Every single hour I'd be like, oh no. And then you just kind of realize you're like, oh yeah, it's long-term that I'm trying to look at. Is the long-term trend. They do not know that. So I just want to say, that's, you are going to deal, if you're going on TikTok Shop, you need to understand that you are going to need to deal with creators. Now, if you work with an agency, they're going to need to deal with creators. So that's something that we do. And we deal with that a lot. Now let's talk about the launch moment, right? Using a new SKU is a really great example. So we work with a lot of really big brands that are now doing all of their product launches on TikTok Shop. Crazy. So it is the first place that they're launching products. That is my recommendation. If once you get a good stable of creators, doing your launches on TikTok Shop is massive. So if you're doing like some kind of licensing deal, if you are just launching like a new colorway, whatever it is, launch it first on TikTok Shop because you're going to get a ton of content. And then there's platform campaign moments. So I highly recommend using the river, right? The river sort of analogy of going with the flow. I highly recommend using their TikTok's specific platform campaign moments. And I think that that's a really, really important thing for you to do. Sorry, I know that it's really, really important to go along with their moments. Now, lots of those are going to be discounts, but a lot of times TikTok is going to subsidize the discount for you. They'll continue to do that for a while. So just so you guys know, if I don't get to your questions right now, I'm going to try to get to every question. We're going to have 20 minutes at the end for all these questions. Really great questions, by the way, for those of you guys watching on YouTube. We're going to have some incredible questions afterwards here that I am really, really pumped about. All right. Let's talk about the 5-point moment brief. And somebody actually asked about this before, and I think that this is a really good thing. So something that I really actually love to do, and again, I've been in marketing for a long time, so I sort of understand these sorts of moments. But calling out who your audience is one of the things that I don't have on here. If you are this kind of brand, this is not for you, right? I really, really like that. And let's go back to creators, right? Saying like, hey, if you are just looking for a one-off post, we're not the brand to work with. So don't work with us if that's the case. It's really good. It's this like sort of hack that you can use to sort of get creators who are just there for like basically for the samples out of the way. By the way, I cannot wait until TikTok Shop in Canada launches because I am in Canada. I've been thinking about it. I'm like, I think I'm going to become a Canadian content creator on TikTok Shop just so I can show people like, oh, here's how you do it as like a super lame dad, right? Like this is how you can do it. Anyway, that's an aside. I actually don't think I have time to do it, but I want to. All right, so here's the 5-point brief. So number one is the intent. So what is the one goal that creators need to understand about what this brief is going to do and what the moment is that you're trying to do, right? What is the one goal? Are you just trying to generate as much eyeballs as possible? Are you trying to generate signal? Are you trying to scale a winner, right? A winning SKU potentially? Are you trying to launch? Did you get more inventory? Whatever that intent is, make sure that that's really, really clear. It's really that simple, guys. Like making sure to like just say it and have it out there is really important. Just be as simple as possible and let people know. You don't need to dance around the subject. Hey, this is what we are trying to do with this. The audience, who is it for? Talk about the customer type. I think that I think that's really important, right? Saying like, hey, here's the customer that we're actually going after. Do you have them? Like, do you go after them? And also it really helps people when they have the customer type in their audience already, or they know how to make content, again, because it's more of a content game. If they know how to make content for that particular audience, it's really good. Timing, what is the fixed window during this moment, right, that we're putting in? I don't know why I put quotations in there. Prep, what has to be true before the launch, right, making sure that this is all good. And then the signal, what do we want TikTok to learn? So beginning, again, I'm a big 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. One of, I think it's habit 2 or 3. I'm a big 7 Habits guy, is start with the end in mind. And so I'm constantly thinking, okay, what is the thing that we're trying to do from this, right? What is the desired conversion signal that we want to do? This product converts when framed as this, right? What is that signal exactly? For those of you guys, let's just go back to Canada TikTok Shop. I don't have anything that I can say yet. I will let everyone know when Canada launches, or when Canada is going to launch, and when TikTok is going to start putting stuff out there. So, all right, let's talk about execution. This is building the moment stack for perfect alignment. So, momentum requires that these 4 elements are perfectly synced in time and message. So creators, right? Who posts, right? Making sure that you've got your core group of creators. Number 2 is the content, what actually gets posted. So making sure that you're actually structuring these different variations is really, really important as well, right? Making sure that your inventory is good. We work with a really, really big brand that a lot of you guys would know. Again, I can't actually say who they are, but their biggest issue, we were scaling really, really nicely going into Q4, and their biggest issue was just inventory. It was making sure that like their inventory was synced properly, and they just could not figure it out, and that really, really sucks, especially for a huge brand like that could not get that figured out. They'll do great in 2026, but really missed out on Q4, which is sad. Messaging, the shared language is really important. This is the consistent angle and promise across all of the content. So making sure that you understand that with you and your partner, you and your marketing team is really, really important as well. Here's the content blitz playbook. So here's a few different things, and hopefully this will be helpful. Again, I'm just going until 10:40 my time, and then we're going to answer all the questions. So go ahead and throw all of your questions on the side there. I'm really looking forward to it for those of you guys who are live right now. All right. So building your creator list, right? Minimum viable list of, I would actually say, let's not go with 30. Let's go 50 to 100 creators if they are going to be posting 5 to 10 videos, right? The places to find them. Obviously, you guys all know that I'm a big Reacher fan. So using Reacher to reach out to them, finding other taps, so TikTok Shop affiliate partners, you guys can search for them where you can tap into their list. One of the incentive models, and I don't like doing this, but sometimes with higher end creators, you can pay them retainers to post a certain amount of videos, right? And I think that's a good way to get started at first. The biggest thing here that I just want to say to everyone is do your like internal team is one of those places that like we don't talk enough about, but it's like just make your own content, right? Continually make your own content that could potentially go viral. It's a very like simple way of doing it, but like of course just make your own content, and then go to past UGC creators, right? I was chatting with someone the other day about creators, and they were talking about how crazy UGC creators were, and I was like, if you think UGC creators are crazy, come on to TikTok Shop because they're just as crazy, and I love them. I'll send out the slides after. Absolutely. I'll see how I can do this from Notebook LM. By the way, I just want to say Notebook LM is the most incredible tool that I have ever used. Google will win the AI race. It is so helpful. Highly recommend going in and using Notebook LM like all the time for learning, for things like this. It really takes like all of my thoughts and really helps actually put them into a way that I wouldn't have been able to before. So highly recommend using Notebook LM. All right, stop testing content, start testing angles. This is a really big thing. This is angle and offer is so important, so important. Again, remember we came from the Facebook ads world where like we spent hundreds of millions of dollars on Facebook ads, and angles and offers are so ridiculously important. So this problem solution demo, that's always a great one. Before and after results are great. Again, making sure there's certain things sometimes that you can and can't say. So make sure that you're talking about that. 3 reasons why this works. Again, I make a lot of content. Like anytime you number something, it's just so ridiculously easy to make the content. You want to make the content as easy as possible for people to make for you. That is the thing, right? That you want the creators to be able to make the content incredibly easy, right? That is a huge thing here. A myth bust and contrarian take is really, really great. Most people think this. I'm going to tell you why that's not true. A comparison versus alternative, right? Like, hey, yeah, everyone's wearing Nike shoes, but let's be honest, Nike sucks. Here's what. I shouldn't say that just in case. I think they're going to come to us to work soon. Don't tell anyone I said that to Nike. But really trying to do like a comparison alternative, or you could say like, hey, the big brands are always like this, blah blah blah. That's a big thing. And then social proof and testimonial. So these are like really, honestly, these are some really, really great angles, and let creators know like, hey, here's some of the angles that have worked. Here's some of the angles that we're going to be trying. Just get as much content out as possible. I recommend, and I've talked about this before in previous workshops. My biggest recommendation to you guys on this is that you just whatever you're doing, just help your creators sell, right? Like at the end of the day, that's all that matters, is helping your creators sell in the best possible way. So let's talk about the 72-hour moment in action, moment marketing, right? So at the beginning, making sure that you're finalizing your moment brief, lock your product and offer, confirm your creative list, and assign different angles, or at least you sort of understand where. Day 1, you're trying to get each creator to get 6 to 12 posts to go live. Crazy. And then you as a brand getting as many possible videos as you can live. This is again one of the places where I see most brands fail, is they're like, I'm just going to let all the creators do it. The brands that are winning right now, their main page or some of their marketing pages are the ones that are winning. Just so you guys understand, like they're the ones that are generating the most amount of GMV. You also don't have to pay yourself a commission, which is great. So you pocket all of that money. Those are the brands that are being really profitable. Something I should probably build into my forecasting tool as well. For you guys. By the way, I did promise you guys the forecasting tool. I will make sure to drop the link. I'll drop it as I'm answering Q&A for the forecasting tool, just because I think the forecasting tool is super important. I have had hundreds and hundreds of people, maybe we're in the thousands now, of brands use the forecasting tool. And people are saying it's, a really, really great thing. And that it's working really well, which is fun because I actually built it myself. So that's why I'm telling you guys. All right. Day 2, we're going to double down on winners, and that's really important. So it's really important during this 72-hour period to be as active as possible. So don't just lob something over the fence. You need to be there. So if it's over a weekend, you are working the weekend. That is a really important part to understand with all of this. Yeah, recurring objections within comments. That's a really big one too, right? Like go and look through the comments. You know, I always say like in content creation, to read the comments. As a brand, read the comments because people will look and they'll be like, I don't know, is that something? You can make videos off of that. Like making videos off of the comments. It's kind of fun. A little aside up where I live here. It's like a little small town. You can see. Beautiful Penticton, BC. So you guys look it up. Gorgeous place. Small town. It's like 40,000 people, and people just complain. I've done some fun content creation in the area, which is like just a blast. I love doing it. But like honestly, I just use comments. I'm like, people will say stuff, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna just respond to that comment. Do that for your brand. It's really important, right? Like when people ask questions, I will use a lot of your guys' comments and questions here as content. I'm like, oh, that's a really great question. Like. Totally makes sense. Yeah. All right. Let's just go to the last one here for today. And then from a single moment to a predictable machine. And this is what I really wanted to get across today for everyone and that I'm really, really excited for. This is how you stop restarting from zero every single week. So making sure you do a post-mortem is super important. And one thing I don't have in here is the comments. Go and read the comments from everyone who's saying things about the product. You're like, sweet. That's going to be my next like 100, 200, 500 pieces of content from that. Use that content across. Now, when we talk about like what we're doing at Social Commerce Club, is we're an omni-channel engine, right? And again, Halo, guys, I will be releasing Halo. It'll probably be January now. It is looking so good. I'm so excited about it. But the idea with being omni-channel is that you're not just going to use these learnings on TikTok Shop. That's the beautiful thing. If you just stop on TikTok Shop, you're not getting the value that you actually need to get out of all of this. So making sure that you're actually getting the learnings, right? So the post-mortem is so important. We're always doing, every time that we fail, we're like, oh, okay, let's talk about how we failed, right? You don't need to make it into like a big thing. It's just like, hey, here's how we failed. Here's how we're going to get better next time. What did the PDP fail to answer? That's a really big one. And then what is going to be our next moment? And then building your always on asset bank is really, really important. So every winning post becomes a reference asset for more posts like that and more angles like that on every single platform. And it's not just that, it's extracting what the thing behind the thing behind the thing was that you can then use in your marketing, right? It's like, what was that deep emotional need that we were trying to fulfill, that our product fulfilled, that we can now put into all of our marketing? Because at the end of the day, that is how marketing really, really works. So that is phase 3 optimization. Obviously, there's a lot more to do with that. Again, a lot of you guys said yes, that you're looking forward to a way that we can potentially work a little bit closer together. I will talk about that on my email list. I will throw that out for the new year and let you guys know kind of when that's going to launch. Again, we're only going to be taking on 10 brands. We're going to be doing one for agencies as well, which is great. I'm going to go through all the questions now because we have a million questions and I promised you guys 20 minutes of questions and I'm going to make sure to go through that. Let's just see if we've got yeah, you know what? I'm going to leave this slide up here so you guys can see the rhythm of momentum, and then we're going to go through our questions here. Okay. Death threats. Okay, we got that one. If we're just launching a TikTok Shop, okay, let's show this on the stream. So if I were just launching on TikTok Shop and we're planning to see 300 for the first batch, do we do content blitz and then put ad spend behind pushing those content? Yes, exactly. So I would highly recommend doing a content blitz when it comes to this. So trying to get those 300 creators to each create 6 to 12 pieces of content and then putting as much money as you humanly can behind that content. What I would do on GMV Max is run it as a target return on ad spend or target ROI campaign and try to get somewhere close to your break even during that, or maybe even a little bit below that. So I hope that helps there. Let's just go here. Oh man, I got so many questions that you guys are putting in here. Thanks so much, everyone. You know what? We're going to have to go from the bottom because they just keep coming. Have you ever tried to drop ship from China on TikTok Shop for US businesses? It's not allowed, but somehow Chinese themselves do it for US customers. I have not. I don't recommend doing it for long-term, Nick. I just don't think that it's great. So just so you know, this is a fun agency question here from Saeem. If I hope I'm saying that right. I started a TikTok shop boutique agency called socialtick.co about 3 months ago, and Social Commerce Club was a huge inspiration for me. I love scaling TikTok shops, but obviously the beginning challenge here is to actually find brands to work with. For Social Commerce Club, where do you guys funnel most of your leads from? And also, where do you get new brands to work with if you started all over again? So for us, that's a hard question to ask, because I've been in this space. I've been in e-com. I've owned 8 brands. People know us really well. We work with some of the biggest brands in the world. So we have all of those logos. So for us, we get a lot of referrals because we do a lot of good work. So big brands refer big brands that come over to us. I don't even know how many brands apply to work with us a month, hundreds of brands. So that's probably not the best example. The best example for anyone, this is for brands, this is for agencies, just anybody who is out there. If you want to get more business, do really, really good work. Focus on the work itself, right? And the clients will come, right? And doing free things is really important as well. I would highly recommend, and I've got this book right on my desk here because I was actually just at a Hermosi event, highly recommend $100 Million Leads. If you have never read this book before, this will help you with like everything that you're doing. So $100 Million Leads, Hermosi. Really, really recommend reading that and understanding how you give. It's just about giving value, right? Like that's my whole goal with these, right? Is like, I expect nothing from you guys. All I want to do is give value. And then the amount of people that are like constantly talking about Social Commerce Club and bringing us business is wild. It is wild, but it's only because of that. Just so you guys understand. I'm going to do this question from Victor here. So when working with bundles, is it better to create a single listing or split them into multiple listings? What is the best listing practice when bundles are involved, especially regarding images? So yes, I would have a single product ID that has the bundle attached to it. The best practice when it comes to images, so this is just generally across the board, is usually 7 to 8 images is as much as you need. Making sure that you have the product in use is really important. Making sure that your first image is like similar to the Amazon one where it's on a white background. And whatever you can do to explain through your images, the better. So I hope that helps. Let's go back to, and guys, if your question was not answered above, if you could just actually throw it back in like people are doing here, that's actually really, really helpful for me, because as soon as I go up and there's another question, it rips the questions down for me. So what is a typical commission rate? 15% for a brand new brand to attract creators, 20% then add 5. This is James's question here. Maybe add 5% if they do more videos. So James, really, really good question. The percentage actually doesn't matter nearly as much as the amount of money that they're going to potentially make. So creators want to make a minimum of $5 per order. What you're trying to do is you're trying to de-risk them working with you, right? They're working with a lot of people. So letting them know that that if they post a certain amount of videos, no matter what, they're going to get some kind of retainer is really good, right? Especially for the best creators. Making sure that they can do that is really important, James. So I hope that helps there. Okay. Oh, guys, you are just making me work here. Let's see here. All right. If it's a new brand instead of a huge brand launching a new range, how do we reach out to creators? Creators only respond when they feel that they will make money as well. Any tool hacks? I mean, the first tool hack that I have is just Reacher, right? So making sure that you're do not do your own, like use one of the tools. Again, my recommendation is Reacher. The guys at Reacher, they're just the best. I was in Vegas last week at that Hermosi event, and the two founders of Reacher flew out for night, for dinner, to come and see me. They're building the best tool in the world. I have zero doubt about that. Just go use them. So that's a good way to get a hold of creators at the beginning. My biggest recommendation right now is like focus on what you can control, which is your content, right? So the more of your content that you can make that you can put money behind, the better off you're going to be. So go into Fastmoss, right? Look through Fastmoss. That's my other recommendation. Look and see what the top creators are actually doing, right? What the content that they're creating is. And then from there, right, from Fastmoss, then you're going to be able to actually see which kind of content works and then make that content yourself, right? Focus on your content. Now, one of the things, actually, I'll just tell you guys here quick, from being at that Hermosi event, one of the crazy things that I realized, or that he talked about when I was there in person, was that he is still making 400 to 600 pieces of content a week. If he, like, who is like one of the most well-known business guys in the world, is making 400 to 600 content pieces a week, you are not making enough content, right? Like your brand. And so thinking about that and like all of the different angles, like there needs to be, and generally founder-led content is the stuff that's going to kill. I had somebody on my podcast about 4 to 6 months ago. I believe his name was Caleb. He was talking about these founder-led e-com brands and how much better they do than anyone else, right? I can tell you for ourselves, all the brands that we've owned have been founder-led, and actually we've had a couple that weren't, one acquisitions that we did, and then we decided not to make them founder-led. Those did not go nearly as well, right? People want to talk. They want to see founders. They want to see founder-led content. And so my recommendation is get your reps in. I know it might be uncomfortable, but get your reps in. Victor, if you have an accent from Eastern Europe, is this still fine? Yes. People want... sorry, Victor, I don't know what your product is exactly, but it depends. Like if you are the here's the thing. If you are the avatar of your product, then yes, make your own content. Victor, if you are the avatar of your supplements, then yes. If not, you need to find a face. You need to find a founder face. If it's like a female one, obviously you should not be the person there. Then hire somebody, or maybe it's somebody close to you. Maybe it's somebody that you're like, hey, I just need to pay you like a couple grand a month to make like a huge amount of content. That is a way. This is great. Yeah. Reacher is very responsive. Co-founders will hop on calls and guide through setting up your outreach automations. Yeah. Those guys are the best. How is Calidata as a tool? Garv asks. I recommend Fastmoss. I used to be a Calidata guy. I'm now a Fastmoss guy. I just think that they have better, more accurate data from what creators tell us. Their data is a lot better. So that's just what we have found, just so you guys know. Okay. Umer asks, what is the best GMV strategy for a hero product that already has 10,000 creatives in the background? Should we include all products in a single campaign or separate the hero PIDs into individual campaigns? What's the better approach, targeting ROI or using a max budget strategy? So always target ROI. Max delivery is like, I don't know. So you're just, from these AI ad platforms, you're going to get what you want. Yes, Fastmoss, Japna. You're going to get what you tell them that you want. That's what you're going to get. Just so you know. So if you want to give them target ROI, then that's what you're going to get. Now, again, you guys know we work with massive brands. The best media buying strategy that we have found is putting like PIDs into like campaigns. Right? And so the more data that we can give the one single GMV max campaign, the better that we have found. And this is spending millions of dollars that we have found this. So unless you somehow have a reason that you want to split them out, try and group as many possible products as you can together. By when can we expect to break even? That is a great segue into me sharing this tool with you guys. Let me just find this tool, and I am going to, this is our TikTok shop launch forecaster. I am going to give you guys the link here for this product. So those of you guys who are on here, there you go. That is our launch forecaster. That is when you can expect to break even. It really depends, and that's why I made this launch forecaster. So Nick asks, do you use paid ads to drive traffic to affiliates videos or only organic? Yes, absolutely. So Nick, really great question. I highly recommend using as many affiliate videos as you can. So getting either Spark codes or if they have automatic authorization on, making sure that those are in every single campaign. The more content, the better. Now, one thing that Zuckerberg has talked about on Meta is that he expects 2026 to be the year of personalized ads, right? Which is why the more content, the better. It's the way that the Andromeda engine works, and the new engine that's coming in behind, which I forget what it's called, but those two things working together, it's all about that. Now, I know we're talking about TikTok, and you're like, well, why are you talking about Facebook? It's all using very similar principles behind how they are marketing. So the same principle applies. The more pieces of creative you can get into GMV Max, the more that TikTok can be like, oh, well, Jordan really responds to this kind of content. Oh, Ginger really responds to this kind of content. Wendy really responds to this kind of content. Nick responds to this kind of content. That's why you want to get as much possible content is in there as you can. Yes, the forecaster link is right here in the comments, sec.tiktokshop. Just grab that, and then you can play around with the forecaster after. Okay, I'm going to go to this. Oh, man, we got so many questions. You guys are awesome, by the way. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for sticking around even with the technical difficulties. I'm seeing a brand post. Let's just throw this up here. I'm seeing a brand post on their page that they're looking for creators to send PR packages to. Do you think that we can state on the post to get affiliates to apply, meaning that state that they have to join our community and agree to launch before they request a sample? You can do that in your, like, so using Reacher, like that's what we like to do is be like, hey, we wanted to invite you out to a blitz. Let me know if you're interested. Here's kind of like what we're doing. Here's what you can expect from us. And then they're going to respond back to us, right? And we're going to say, awesome. For us to send you a sample, we need you to join this WhatsApp group, this Discord community. Once you do that, let us know, and then we'll approve your sample. Boom. Make sure you gate it like that, right? It's funny. Cheryl, I just put the link above here. I'll put it back in. It's in the comments. Hopefully you guys can see it here. I'll send this. Actually, you know what? I'll make sure to send this link out for anyone that said yes to coming to the event as well. And then any of you guys that are in the school group, I'll make sure that you guys have access to that as well. So awesome. Let me just see if there's any other. Lots of people want the forecaster. Yes. Does the quality of the content that we put in GMV Max matters? We manually check videos to qualify them as quality or bad in the beginning, and it's pretty inevitable to get some bad ones. Does GMV Max perform better with 100 good pieces of content versus 670% are bad? That presupposes that you know what good content is, right? And what I have found is that we're really bad judges of that, because you might think it's bad content, but it actually converts. I've seen this happen a lot actually on TikTok Shop, where people are like, I'm going to turn that ad off. And I'm like, are you sure? Because that ad actually produced 17 sales. And so there are certain people, so it might not be good content for you. That's a crazy thing about TikTok Shop, and that's again why most big brands don't understand it. Is for that reason. I'm going to also drop the school group link in here as well for those of you guys. I've had a lot of you guys ask about that. I should probably throw that out to the email list as well. But that is the TikTok Shop OS school group. We've got a bunch of training courses and stuff in there as well for those of you guys who are not in the school group. So I hope that helps. Will the recording be emailed? Yes. Brittany, I had a lot of problems too. Yes. We'll make sure to throw that link out. I think I might have gone live on YouTube as well. I was, you know what? So this is great. I'll make sure to throw that out right away. The YouTube link. That should be super easy for us to do. So just so you guys know. All right, let's see if there's any other questions. I'm going to be done here in 1 minute. Oh, you guys, you just keep asking great questions. Garv, if we are launching our brand on TikTok ads, should we focus on Spark ads or affiliate only for sales? So Spark ads Spark codes, right? When you say Spark ads, those are affiliate ads, right? Yes, you should be focusing. So think of Spark ads like whitelisting ads, right? Whitelisting at scale. That's the whole idea with this, right? So at first, I honestly would just focus on 1 to 2 products. So I would look and see, okay, what's my hero SKU that is under 100, under 50, like somewhere in the range where it's like, this is going to be a no-brainer purchase. I would start there so that you're getting some easy momentum wins. Make sure that you're able to be profitable. Go use my my forecasting tool, because that's really important to look. It's crazy when you actually move the AOV from like $40 to $50 and you see, oh my gosh, this is why I need to be doing this, right? So all right, this is going to be my last. So and asks, yes, it's more like vetting for genuinely incredibly bad content, like filmed with a bar of soap type content. I don't know what that means, but no, I still wouldn't. I still would. If it is, so if it's getting a bunch of spend and it's not performing, sure, I would just let TikTok deal with that. They're going to put the spend to the pieces of content that they think are the best. I would get as many possible pieces of content as you can, as many spark codes as you can, because TikTok is going to know who to put that in front of. TikTok is your business partner. You're not working against them. You're working with them. That's really important to know. Nick asks, do you only send a brief to creators or full scripts? Which one do you think perform better? Whatever it is, it's just one pager. So we use Notion. Notion's nice and simple to use. That is the one that I personally prefer. Is just like a one pager on Notion. You can put one little script in there if you want. We also create custom GPTs for each brand that we give to creators and just say, hey, if you want to make some scripts, here you go. We have like these scriptwriter custom GPTs that we use at SEC. So that's what we do. Oh yes. This is a really great question. This is going to be, I promise, will be our last question because I have to go to an all hands meeting for SEC. Do you print the brief and put it in sample bags in the message? Yes. I like actually sending a beautiful postcard if you can that sort of lays that out, because then what the creator does is they're like, sweet, I'm going to make Ketone IQ stuff here. They should really pay me for this because I just freaking love Ketone IQ. They then have beside them, let's pretend like this is a postcard, right? Then they've got the postcard here and they're like, oh, sweet, I can make this. Guys, I have found the most incredible product ever, Ketone IQ. Business people, you're going to want to know about this, blah, blah, blah. This is why I want to be a TikTok shop creator. All right. That's it. I'm sorry, guys. We are done. Thank you. I'm going to send out all of these resources afterwards. You guys are amazing. Thanks for staying through all the technical difficulties. I was saying some words that I did not like before this. So appreciate you guys so much. And I'll see you guys in the new year on more of these. I hope this is helpful. Again, I am going to be launching a new a group type of environment for brands that's a lot cheaper than working with us at Social Commerce Club, because again, we are working with some really big brands over there. So if you guys are into that, please email me, talk to me on LinkedIn. If there's brands that you think might be a fit for it, that's great. I think we'll probably get the first 10 brands really, really simply. So yes, I will let you guys know. Look out in your emails for that, and we will talk soon. Thanks everyone so much.